Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Kevin, and I'll be your host for this complete beginner course on SolidWorks. This will be a series of step-by-step tutorials on CSWA level models. This course is also meant to help you learn a design intent methodology that will help you create smart 3D models that will make it easier for you to revise, increase your accuracy, and speed up your modeling during the examination. So, let's get right into the tutorial. So, as we are now, we can now orient ourselves so we no longer need these planes. They're a little bit distracting. So what I like to do is make sure you square click all three of these, you right click, and you click this eyeball symbol with the slash across it. That basically tells it to hide. And we can see our origin is right here in this blue marker, and it's the correct orientation still, Z, Y, and X. So we want to add on more features onto this. We want to make this back wall. So the way we could do that is that we could rotate, and the way you rotate in SolidWorks is that if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you could click it and hold on to it, and you could basically rotate your model. And to pan your model, you want to hold down Shift. Oops, that's zoom. Hold Control middle click, and this will pan your model. While the Shift click or scroll wheel will zoom in and out your model. So Shift middle button scrolls in your model, Control middle button pans your model, and just holding down middle button rotates your model. And then going up and down the scroll wheel zooms in and out of your model. So now let's go back. We're gonna go back to create this back plate here. And the way we could do that is that we could rotate our model, right click this black back plane, and select sketch. It'll make it normal too, but we don't want that right away. We want to make sure our part is still in the same orientation. So the way you could do that, and this is a shortcut key, is that you want to hit Control 8. And I'll make it normal 2 at first, but if you hit Control 8 again, it'll flip it to the other side. So now let's create that top piece. So making a quick sketch, we want to click our line tool, which is here. And this is where I'll teach you about relationships. Now, you see this when I hover over this point, it makes a orange dot. That means once you make a click in that orange dot, it'll add a relationship. That first relationship is going to be coincident. And that means that your point is stuck to that other vertex on that box. So now we could go straight ahead with our line, and you see that that orange dot is back, as well as you can see our relationship types, which is in the bottom right, which I can't really hover over, but it's a dot with 3 lines and then a minus sign. So what that means is that the dot with the 3 lines means that it's coincident. So it's similar to this other side, that it's going to be in the same vertex or the same point as that box. So if I click that down, it's going to apply a relationship. And that minus sign is actually the horizontal relationship, which horizontal means that our line is going to be perfectly horizontal at all times. So let's click this orange dot, and you see it added that minus sign, that horizontal sign. And if we go vertically, you see a vertical line, which means that our line is going to be vertical, was going to include a vertical relationship. So let's just do a couple more clicks. And now we have something that kind of looks like that back wall you see here with that notch in it. So let's give it some dimensions. So let's go ahead and add that that B dimension. So this B, which is going to be 40. We're going to click this bottom and this top. We're going to click down anywhere in the white space, and we're going to put equals B. Make sure our global variable, and let's press OK. Zoom in. And now we want to go ahead and make those other dimensions. So we can click here and here for 10. And then click anywhere to reset it. And click here and here. And this will be 30. And you're just going to press OK over here. This is the OK. Now what you could do next is that you could activate Extrude Boss. And you see how it's flipping the opposite direction? What you could do is make it to the correct direction, is that you could flip the direction using this button here, reverse direction. And the thickness of this is going to be 20 millimeters. We want to make sure we're typing in 20. Press OK. There we go. So that looks okay. So let's press OK here. Now, to go a little bit more detail about what SolidWorks in our viewport here is that you see this area between these four corners. That is the visible viewport. So your 3D model and any geometry that you create is going to be in this viewport. On the left side here, on this side, is what we call the feature tree manager. And this holds a lot of different information of your part. So it'll make in a timeline your parts starting from bottom, which is the oldest part, all the way going downwards, which is your future features of your part, or sketches or planes or wherever you have in. So you can actually go back in time in your part. If you look at this blue line and then hold it up, it will actually remove that feature you made, but it's still there. So if you pull downwards, that feature will come back. Now let's say you needed to go back to this and you needed the entire space. You could always go back and utilize this geometry. Let's just include that sketch for now. And then go back and have this feature pop up again. Just a useful tip if you ever run into trouble. And let's say you made a sketch and you want to change your sketch somehow because you put the wrong dimension. You click your bottom plate and you notice, oh, I put 70 instead of 60. So what you could do is that you could click this down arrow, right click, and edit sketch. And now you're able to go back, double click that, and make sure you input the correct value. Press OK, and it'll automatically update. That is the power of SolidWorks. SolidWorks really is helpful for when you want to make iterations of a design or make a smart model that's easy to revise, especially in the workplace. You always go through iteration after iteration after iteration of part to get the best part, or the part that the team agrees on. So let's continue on with this part. So we're now going to make this back piece here. So we're going to do a similar step. We're going to rotate our part. We're going to right click this plane and we're going to press sketch. Alright, we're going to do a quick sketch again with our line tool. So dot, which will add our relationship, dot adds a relationship, dot adds a relationship. Click here and here, and then you want to make sure this is in line. So if you don't get this dotted line, you could always hover over the area where you want to make it in line of it. Don't click, but just hover over and it should give you this line here, dotted line, which makes it perfectly horizontal. Now let's press OK. Let's go to smart dimension. Let's add some dimensions. So this one is going to be 20. And this one is going to be 20. And it looks okay. So let's go ahead, make that a quick isometric. And let's go head over to features and Extrude Boss. Now our Extrude Boss is going the wrong direction again. So we want to flip the direction. Make sure it's set to the correct thickness. Let's make sure we understand the thickness, which is going to be 20 down here. Make sure it's 20, and let's press OK. Great. Looks like we have a completed part. And let's quickly review. Make sure it looks at least the same. Check our dimensions of our first plate, which is going to be 10, 60, and that A value. And then our second plate, which is going to be that B. Let's double click this and add that B, just so we can reference it more easily. And then 30 by 10, a thickness of 20, which is back here for some odd reason. Make sure that's correct. Yeah, it's correct. And this back piece here, which is going to be 20, 20, 20, 20. Great. So now we want to look at our other givens. So our units are already in millimeters. Our decimal places we already set in our templates. So we want to give it this density. And the way you give it a density is that you go to evaluate here. And if you don't have this, you can always right click and you could go to toolbars and make sure you have, or excuse me, tabs. Go to tabs and make sure you have evaluate clicked. And go to mass properties and hover over to this options. This is going to give us access to giving a specific density or measurements here of units, types of measurements here. So we're going to click custom properties. We're going to stick it on millimeters. We're going to stick it on grams and millimeters cubed, since over here it says millimeters cubed. And right here in our density, we're actually apply a specific measurement, a specific density value. So ours is actually 0.0085. So make sure that looks perfectly the same. So 0.0085 is at 0.0085 grams per millimeters cubed. And let's press OK. And we want to make sure our answer, which is 1,105 grams. And it looks correct. Great. You officially made your first 3D model in SolidWorks. Congratulations. Now let's head over to the next part of the video. Oh, wait, before we finish up and wrap up the video, we want to make sure we save our part. Now, the way I like to save these parts is the same way that I have them listed. So this one we're going to call T1.1.1. So we're going to go File, Save As. And we're going to head over to a new folder, which you may want to call your student folder. And I've done this previously, so it's going to be T1.1.1. And you just want to hit save. I already made this before, so I'm just going to replace it for now. And great, that looks good. So let's head over to the next tutorial. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will answer as a reply comment or as a short video between the courses to help out any others who probably have the same question as you. Feedback and video suggestions are appreciated and helps me to improve the design of the content for you all to better enjoy and learn. Thank you for watching, and all of you have my greatest respects for pursuing to learn new great things.